Okay, in this example, we want to integrate a ratio of polynomials or a rational function, and we can see that the denominator is fully factored into linear terms. So when we have linear terms, what I want to do is would like to break up this fraction into its partial fraction decomposition so that we might be able to integrate. So we're basically undoing addition of fractions. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and copy our rational function here. And stress once again that every factor in the denominator is a linear term. So when we have a linear term, we get a contribution in the numerator of only a constant. So my first fraction, I'm going to write the denominator x minus 1. The second one will have denominator x plus 1. And the third one will have denominator x plus 3. And since each of these is a linear term, I'm going to put a constant a that I would like to find, constant b, and constant c. Once we find those constants, then we can integrate the right-hand side of this equation, which will be much easier than dealing with the left-hand side. I'm going to do it slightly different than it is explained in the PowerPoint presentations. I am going to find a common denominator on the right side, which I know is the product of those three linear terms, and then we're going to equate the numerators. So on the right side, we'll have that common denominator, same as the left, of x minus 1 times x plus 1 times x plus 3. And in order to be over this common denominator, I would need to multiply a by x plus 1 and x plus 3. B would need to get multiplied by the x minus 1 and x plus 3, the denominators that it's missing. And c would need to get multiplied by x minus 1 times x plus 1. Okay, now, since we have a fraction here equal to another fraction here, and they both share the same denominator, that has to mean that the numerators are also equal to each other. Otherwise, it can't happen, right? So we're going to just set those numerators equal to each other. And you could at this point multiply everything out and compare the types of terms that you have on the right side of the equation to the types of terms that you have on the left side, but I'm going to do this slightly differently. Our goal is to find those constants a, b, and c. So I notice that if I plug in, let's say, a value for x here of -1, then this will be 0, and this term will also be 0, because if I plug it in for every x, both of these will kind of cancel out, and I'll be able to solve for b. So I'm going to pick some strategic values of x to plug into this equation so that I might be able to solve for the constants. Right? Because this equation is going to work, it's going to balance itself out depending on what values of x I put in. So I'm going to pick the values of x that are going to make the factors on the right side 0 at some point. So first I'm going to choose x equal to 1. And I need to put that value of x into every part of my equation. So on the left, when I plug it into this expression, we know we have 1 squared plus 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1. And on the right side, well, let's see. When we put in 1 here, we're going to have a times, when x is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 3 is 4. When we plug in 1 here, this term, it's going to give us a 0. And 0 times anything is 0, so this will just be 0. And when we plug in x equal 1 in the last expression, again, that term will be 0, so the whole thing will be 0. So that's what we have, and now we're going to be able to solve for a. On the left side, we have 4, 5, 6. On the right side, we have 8a. So a is going to be 6 over 8, which reduces to 3 over 4. So we have found one of our constants. A is 3/4. Okay, we're going to do the same process, trying to zero out. Now we want to zero out the terms with the a and maybe c to find b, and then eventually the terms with the a and the b to find c, by plugging in values of x that make sense. So this time, let's see what we can plug in. I'm going to look here. We can put in x equal to -3. That's going to give us a 0 for b and a 0 for a, because we have that term here too, and we'll be able to solve for c. So let's let x be -3. On the left, -3 squared is 9. We have a 9 minus 4 times -3 is 12 plus 1. On the right, the first term will be 0 because -3 plus 3 is 0. The second term will be 0 for the same reason. And the third term is going to be c times -3 minus 1 is -4. And -3 plus 1 is -2. So let's see what we have now. We'll be able to solve for c. On the left, 9 minus 12 is -3. -3 plus 1 is -2. And on the right, we have c times 8. So it looks like c is -2 divided by 8, or -1 over 4. And we have found c. And the last thing we need is to find b. So to find b, let's think about what's going to make both a and c equal to 0. What value of x will make both a and c equal to 0? And it looks like -1 will do that. So let's put in -1 for x, and that's going to allow us to solve for c. So when x is -1, on the left side of the equation, -1 squared is 1, then 4 times -1 is -4 plus 1. And on the right side, when we put in -1, the a term goes to 0. The b term will not, but the c term will go to 0 also. So the b term will give us, let's see, we'll have a b times, if x is -1, -1 minus 1 is -2, and -1 plus 3 is +2. So that gives us a -2 on the left is equal to -4b. And so we have a value for b, which is going to be 1/2. Okay, we're not done, because what we need to do next is go back to our partial fractions up here and put in our values for a, b, and c. And then, because we want the integral, we're going to integrate the right side of this equation, because that will be equal to the integral of the left side of the equation, which is what we were looking for. All right, so we've got, let's see, a over x minus 1, where a is 3/4. So let me try to copy this here. So a is 3/4, so we've got integral of 3/4, there's a, over x minus 1. Let me go back up, I can't see, b over x plus 1, where b is 1/2. And c we know is a -1/4 over, I forget, x plus 3 must be, yeah, x plus 3. So notice all I did here is I put in each of the constants that we found into our partial fraction decomposition. And now we're going to integrate. But I'm going to split this up into 3 separate integrals. And for each one, I'm going to pull out the constant. So for the first one, I'm going to take out the 3/4 and write 3/4 integral of 1 over x minus 1 dx. The second integral will be a 1/2 integral of 1 over x plus 1 dx. And the third one, a -1/4 integral of 1 over x plus 3 dx. And we're going to do a quick use up for one of these, but hopefully you can get a sense of what these will look like. Right here, if we let u be x minus 1, the denominator, and du, well, du will just be dx. This is really the integral of 1 over u du, which we know is the natural log of the absolute value of u. And the same form is in the second integral and in the third. So we're going to be able to integrate this using the natural log function. So the first term will be 3/4 times the natural log of x minus 1. Second term will be plus 1/2 natural log of x plus 1. Then minus 1/4 natural log x plus 3. And since this integral was originally an indefinite integral, we're going to add our arbitrary constant, and we have our final solution. So it's a little bit tedious, but in the end, it's not too difficult once you have found those constants. And there are different ways of finding the constants. You can either set up a system of equations, or you can do what we did here, plugging in values of x that will zero out some term.